Yo, what's good? I'm the pride of the East Side DJMA set up along with Ken Ray and Joy. This is 40 now. My people, how y'all doing?
Good. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Good to
You
see
still got the
you.
hair wrap on. I see you.
What? I'm gonna stay ethnic.
All Black History Month or all year? How we feeling with this?
You know what? I may ride it out all year. Start wearing me some sashes and skirts and all kind of stuff. Who knows?
That's how you feel?
Just
Let's
say.
go. Ray, I see you, Ray. Are we doing a toast tonight?
Absolutely.
I ain't
What
got
are you
nothing to drink.
drinking?
I ain't got nothing to drink by me, so I can't toast. But
So that sounds like a setup. You know what?
all right, fine. I do got
Yep.
something to drink. Y'all want to do it? Let's
You
do
got to
it.
be a team player.
Let's do it. I'm gonna be a team player this week. Y'all killing me.
Look at
Y'all
him
heard
with
me.
you got a spout on that bottle like you got a professional bar over there. Look at you.
I kind of do though.
You
Like,
do?
I kind of do. Shout out to Supreme Creators Maintenance and Remodeling. They hooked me up. You
Okay.
know,
That's what's up.
glasses up. Don't ask what I'm drinking. Just salute.
Salute.
Okay. Woo. Tonight we got a real good episode for you guys. We're about to put y'all up on a lot of game. Y'all know we keep it righteous and ratchet. So last week was ratchet. So this week we're gonna give y'all a lot more righteousness, right? So we got a special guest in the building, Miss Wileena Joseph, credit expert and analysis. How you doing, Wileena?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm awesome. Thank you for being on 40ish Now What?
Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yes,
no
ma'am.
problem. So I want to kick it off like this, right? Because the C word has been taboo in the Black and Latino community for so many years, right? Um, what made you get into credit and wanting to help people with their credit?
You know what? It started with me. I'm gonna give you a little bit background about myself. I was a teen mom. You already know that society have a stigma on teen moms. They look at teen moms as though they're not going to graduate from high school. They're not going to go to college. They're going to be a high school dropout.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want that stigma on me, so I made sure that I had to do what I had to do as a teen mom. So I graduated from high school. I went to college, got my bachelor's in business management, project management, got hired at Blue Cross Blue Shield getting a government contract. It was this one particular position that I was trying to get at Blue Cross that required me to have my MBA. So I didn't have my MBA, but I went back to school. Hear me out. Blue Cross Blue Shield paid me to get my MBA. But when I got my MBA, I wasn't good enough for this promotion.
Wow.
So they wanted to put a cap on what I was worth. So one thing about me, if I invest in me, you can't put a cap on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did. I invested in me. You told me what I needed. I did what I needed to do to try to move up in the company. And when I did those things, you telling me that I can't get this particular position. So right there, I knew that I had to leave corporate America because corporate America was not for me. So what made me look into leaving, I wanted to invest in real estate. But because I found a chapter 7 and a chapter 13, a lot of financial institutions did not find me credit worthy. So I had to start working on my credit. So I was introduced to this company, United Credit Education Service, where I can basically franchise the business. They assisted me with my credit. I have my chapter 7, my chapter 13, and all the negative reportings removed off my credit. When I saw that it worked for me, I'm like, you know what? It's a lot of individuals that was in the same situation as I. It's a lot of individuals within my community that was not taught the importance of financial literacy and credit repair. Not I know there was not a roundtable discussion in my household. So I knew it was not in a lot of other minority households. Not only that, you know, we wasn't taught how to balance a checkbook. We wasn't taught the importance of credit. We wasn't taught financial literacy. I wasn't taught that in my home. I wasn't taught that in high school. I definitely was not taught that in college. So I invested in me to franchise this business so I can help other individuals who was in the same position as I. Everyone have a purpose. Everyone have a calling and everyone have a purpose. We as individuals have to find what our purpose is. We all was put on earth to help each other, but it's always another level to the help. And mine was to help everyone that receives my help, that will allow me to share the education that I have on financial literacy and credit repair, so I can position them and their family not to continue to leave not to continue to leave generational debt, but position them so they can leave generational wealth. And that's where I'm at now, helping people to maintain and get good, excellent credit.
I love that. I love that. You muted, Joy.
Who was muted? Me? I just wanted to make sure when I was in here praising, saying "Go girl," couldn't nobody hear me shouting over her talking. That's awesome. Like that's really awesome. I'm glad to hear that you're doing it to help people. And when people do things to help people and not looking for anything back, I think that is just awesome. And you get it back tenfold. Can you talk to us about? I know a lot of people that I know think like, whatever. I don't need good credit. I have cash. What I need credit for? I don't need no credit cards to do that. Can you talk to us a little bit about why you need credit? And it's not always just to purchase something, just to have a credit card or things like that.
I have clients that are millionaires. The banks do not care that you have money. They care about credit. They want to know, are you credit worthy? Can I trust you? If I become your lender, are you a good borrower? Do you or don't you know how to pay your debt back? The United States of America, we was built off credit. So if we was built off credit, what makes you think that you don't have to have credit? So it's important. A lot of people, they get scared when they hear credit. You can't be scared. You just need to learn how to connect with individuals who can educate you on how to beat the banks at their own game.
Definitely.
Can we be transparent on this live?
Let's go all the way. All the way.
So we're gonna. You need credit because you want to. Me personally, I believe in entrepreneur. Yes, I do. Yes, I did at one point in my life have a 9-to-5. But are you willing to make someone else money, or are you willing to invest in yourself, make your own self money, and be able to leave generational wealth? So we have to learn how to level up in life off other people's money. And when I mean by other people's money, I mean the banks. Shy away from your social security number and get under that EIN number and live an abundance life.
So what do you mean by get on that EIN number? Are you talking about business credit now?
I'm talking about personal. You have personal credit and you have business credit.
Right.
Before you can even go off into the personal side, you have to make sure that, before you can go off into the business side, you have to make sure that your personal is in good standards and where it needs to be as well. So I would tell anyone, before you even venture off trying to invest in the business, invest in you first. Meaning that make sure that your personal credit is up to par. Because if you don't have leverage meaning if you don't have property or anything of such nature, and you're trying to venture off into business, the first thing they're going to want to leverage is your personal credit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make sure that your personal credit is up to par, and then venture off into business credit.
Well, before we go deep into the business credit, let's really get into the base of the average person. I definitely want to revisit that business credit part, but what would be the first step for the average person if they want to try to get their credit together? What would they need to do?
The first thing they need to do is pull their credit report. You go to annualfreecredit.com and get all 3 of your credit reports. I'm not a fan of Credit Karma because Credit Karma is more so a marketing affiliate site. They provide you with 2 versus 3 of your credit reports. So you want to go utilize Experian.com or utilize FICO. Utilize, if you have Capital One, utilize Capital One. You want to get all 3 credit reports, and you want to do a full detailed analysis of what's reported negative on your credit. What's reported negative is what's hurting you. A lot of individuals feel as though if they constantly add trade lines to their credit, it will assist you. That is true. But think about it. If you add trade lines, positive trade lines on bad negative debt, your credit score is not going to go anywhere. It's going to be at a standstill.
Can you talk? I don't want to cut you because you just kind of said trade lines like everybody knows. Can you talk about what trade lines are for people?
Trade lines is like credit cards. Trade lines is like if you have like a mortgage, a car note, those are trade lines. Some people piggyback. Piggyback is like example, like my children, my daughters. They was in when they was in freshmen in high school. I have them as an authorized user on my credit card. That's called piggybacking. So all my positive reporting, my on-time payment, me staying 10% below my utilization, that reports to their credit.
Right.
So that's what I mean by trade line, positive trade lines. You have either a secure credit card, an unsecured credit card, the department store credit cards. Those are considered trade lines.
Right. So can you talk about the difference between secured and unsecured cards?
So basically, unsecured card is you using your own. Secure card is basically you using your own money. So
like I have $500 and I say, hey, can I get this Visa? And I give all the $500. That's what's on that card.
Between minimum 200 to max. Banks want you to. They want you to basically prove that you are trustworthy. So what they do is with that, they have you to make the deposit. It's treated just like a major credit card. You make your monthly payments on time. You stay within 30% of your utilization, and they report it to the credit bureaus every month. Versus unsecured is when the banks upfront you the money, like Capital One, First Progress, Credit One. They would give you depending on your credit, they will start you off with 300, max probably 5,000.
Yep.
But you still have to stay below the 30% utilization. You still have to pay your bills on time monthly. They just upfront the line of credit.
So I heard you mention before, you said you try to keep yours under 10%. I know I've heard the rule is you keep it under 30. I always keep my stuff at 29, 28%, but I heard you mention 10% earlier.
10%.
I only recommend that depending on where you are educational wise when it comes to credit, not only that, where you are financially.
Okay.
If you starting over, yes, I would recommend you to stay between 30 to 25% of your utilization. But if you've been in the game for a minute, as myself, I keep my utilization at 10% or less on a monthly basis. Not only that, with your credit, with a lot of financial institutions, when we get our statements, we want to make our payments not by the due date. Keep in mind that your due date is a grace period, but you want to contact the financial institutions and ask them, what day do you report my payments to the credit bureaus?
Exactly. I was going to hit on that too. Like, because your due date could be on the 12th, but they reporting on the 8th.
On the 1st.
Or the 1st,
yeah.
you know.
Or
and
the
then,
1st, exactly.
So now you think you done paid it all the way down, but it's too late anyway because they've not already reported to the credit bureau. So you got to find out definitely when they report, because that's what matters. Because that's
Exactly.
a whole. I play that game all the time. I pay. I'm like, oh, I know they're gonna report on the 1st. I'm gonna take this $500 and pay this card down, and then maybe use it 3 days later. Oh, don't tell them.
You always want to make your payments, and that's even if you have a mortgage, a car note, your department store credit cards, whatever you're being financed in. You want to call your financial institution and find out what day they report your payments, and that day every month you want to make your payments on or before that particular date.
So, what are some of the common errors that people make with their credit?
Late payments. Late payments. That is the most common error. Late payments. People they make their monthly payments late. Anything past 30 days is considered late. And the credit bureaus is going to, your financial institution they going to report it.
My next question is for someone who how can I word this? How do I word this? For someone who trying to reestablish credit, right? And they have some bad credit history, and they need to go to a credit analysis or credit expert like yourself, but they feel like they don't need you. Like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a credit expert?
The advantage is that the credit expert know the law of the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971. You have to know your rights as a consumer. You have to know the law as a consumer. You have to know what you can and cannot say with the dispute letters. On the dispute letters. So can you do it yourself? Yes, you can do it yourself. But you can also cut your hair yourself. You can also change your tire yourself. You can also change your oil. You see what I'm doing?
Absolutely.
You can do a lot yourself. But when you hire an expert that have the knowledge, that knows the ins and outs, that's going to make sure that what's negative on your credit, make sure that it's disputed and get it deleted off and take it to another level.
To my next question, I know you talked about piggybacking earlier, and that's something that I've done with my kids. I'll put them on credit cards under 10% just to start them off. But to build on that question, what are other strategies you can do for somebody that's just beginning? Because usually beginning to start credit is the hardest thing to do, just for beginners.
A secure credit card. A secure credit card. A secure credit card for beginners or even someone that's starting over. A lot of financial institutions are going to start you off with a secure credit card because now you at a point where you have to try to prove yourself that you are a good paymaster. So they want to be able to they want to be able to see if you're responsible with your own money before they trust you with their money.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. You keep going.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's something interesting? I remember when I was younger, and I first started credit, and I didn't have no credit. But when I went to the dealerships, it was like everywhere I went, they was either denying me or when I end up getting a car note, the car note was like 18-20%. Like what? And I didn't know if that was good or bad at that time because this is 20 years ago. So for me, it makes from what you said, it probably would have been better for me to start off with the security.
Trying to build your credit. And the reason why no credit is just like bad credit. No credit is just like bad credit. And as you stated, a lot of places was denying you. So you had institutions that was running your credit. You had increase on your credit. That which, even though you didn't have a good credit score, those increase and the financial institution constantly running your credit even decrease your credit more. So when a dealership saw you coming, because they definitely saw you coming with that 18 to 23%. When they saw you coming, they knew that, okay, you was going to pay that car off twice.
In interest.
Yeah.
With the interest. That is correct. So a lot of times, even if you start over with your credit, and it's a must that, okay, you real adamant about, okay, I need a car right now, and your credit is not up to par. A lot of my clients, I let them know that, okay, go ahead. If you can't wait until your credit score is where it needs to be so your interest rate can be 5% or less, then go ahead and proceed. Do what you have to do, because I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't. I can advise you, but I can't make you, follow the protocol I can't make you follow the process of what I need for you to do. So if you need a car and you need it now, by all means, go ahead and do what you need to do for you and your family. But what you can do is you can always turn around within 6 months to a year and get that refinance for a lower interest rate.
I love it.
As long as you made on time payments in that 6.
As long as you made on time payments.
Right.
And not just your regular monthly payments. Make your regular monthly payments and add $20 to $30 more.
And where does that go? To the principal, right?
It goes to the principal, correct.
I love it. So I got a question. So if I'm a young entrepreneur, young entertainer, and I'm looking for some money to invest into my career, because I hear a lot of young artists and a lot of people trying to do this to try to find some type of money or some type of investor as opposed to investing in themselves. So if I want to go to a bank, how would I get such funding to invest in myself?
So now we venturing off into business credit. Okay. Yeah. You want to make sure that your paperwork is lined up. And what I mean by your paperwork, your business documentation. You want to make sure that you are you're going to be a LLC, a corporation, a S corp. When you do that, then you want to start establishing business credit. What I mean by establishing business credit, because once you get your EIN number, once you establish your business, Dun & Bradstreet is going to give you a number. Once Dun & Brad give you a number, you want to start establishing.
I was going to say, because somebody called me before. I was like, "What's your Dunn's number?" And I thought it was a joke. I'm like,
so your Dun & Brad is just like Equifax TransUnion, but it's the business credit. So if you don't have your Dunn's number, you can always go to dunsandbrad.com and you can apply for it. It's free. It's free. But once you have your Dunn's number and you start trying to establish credit, you want to, there's tiers. There's 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier when it comes to business credit. The first tier is you want to open up a line of credit with Quill, Uline, and Granger. And call them on the phone. I don't recommend to do anything as far as establishing accounts online. You want to call them and you want to talk to someone live because you want to develop that type of personal relationship with them. They going once you call them, let them know that you want to open up a line of credit with them. Once you open up a line of credit, you want to do a net 30. They may or may not allow, depending on how established your business is, meaning how old it is, they may allow you to do a net 30. A net 30 is you get the product up front and you pay it back within 30 days. Once you pay it back in 30 days on time and what you owe, they report those monthly payments to Dun and Brad. You want to do that for 90 days so you can start building your business credit. Once you build your business credit, I'm a credit union fan. I love credit unions because they are more willing and they are more willing to assist minorities.
Yep.
Mainly Navy Federal.
Yep.
Mainly Navy Federal. So a lot of my clients that's trying to venture off into entrepreneur, I show them how to I assist them how to get in. Once you establish your business credit, then you want to open up a business account with whomever, whether it's a regular financial institution, whether it's a credit union. You want to open up a business account.
So wait, I'm sorry to cut you off. You said you should start the credit line before the account, or does it matter?
It really doesn't matter. If you already have a business banking account, that's good. It's nothing wrong with that. That's good. You can have that. But before you start trying to get finance with that institution, you want to make sure that your business credit has been established.
So with that,
the first 90 days, you want to establish some form of business credit those first 90 days. And on that 91st day, go ahead and apply for some form of financing for your business.
Well, I've heard in the past that in me dealing with businesses on my own, that with establishing business credit, you would have to use your own. You have to sign on as like a guarantor to those businesses. So what is your take on that? Because it sounds like you saying a different route.
Some financial institutions want you to. It all depends on the financial institution that you're going through. Again, I'm a Navy Federal person. They don't have you to do that. PenFed, that's another credit union. They won't have you to do that. So a lot of, whether it's a small financial institution, even some of the big financial institutions would want you to sign on as a grant, because if you dissolve your company, they still want their money.
Okay, and
they still want their money.
And also, you said Navy Federal, because I noticed most of the people that uses that is in the service. From what I was under that assumption. So from what you saying is, it sounds like you don't necessarily. There's ways around it. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I ain't in the Navy.
Is she gonna explain it? I could say, well, I sponsored someone before,
and that's a good thing.
I'm a service member, so I sponsored somebody to get an account before.
That's a good thing to sponsor someone. Once you get in, you have what you call an SS code. And with the SS code, you can sponsor someone trustworthy. Because at the end of the day, your SS code is connected to them.
To you, yep.
But you don't have to have served. You could be a family member or a friend could have sponsored you by providing you with their SS code.
Don't be getting no ideas, guys. Look at Ken Ray. He like,
I was just thinking, like,
enjoy, help us out.
My daughter's a
No,
Marine.
not how you treat me. We talking about the military. I don't know.
She's actually in Navy Federal, but that's good to know because that's something that I'm going to look into.
Ken, let's connect off here, and I will go more in detail.
Okay, fair enough.
I heard you mention earlier about bankruptcy. Can you talk to the people about bankruptcy? I know a lot of people are afraid of it, and I know a lot of people that live by it. So can you talk to us a little bit about the pros and cons of bankruptcy, and should you file or you shouldn't file? You should probably pay it down and not file bankruptcy, and the difference between 13 and 7, or no?
I'm not a now that I would say this, now that I know better, I'm not a fan of bankruptcy.
Okay.
Because bankruptcy, it hurts you more so than it helps you. A lot of people file bankruptcies for frivolous reasons. I would recommend you the only way I would recommend anyone to file a bankruptcy if one, they trying to maintain their driver's license or they trying to keep their mortgage.
Okay.
Anything outside of that, me personally, I don't recommend bankruptcy. You have a lot of people that's probably 20,000 or less in debt and file bankruptcy.
That's ridiculous. That's not a lot of money. I wouldn't recommend that either. Like, that's not a lot of money to file bankruptcy.
How do you pay $20,000 back though if you broke?
It's you know what? It's called communication with your creditors.
With your creditors.
It's called knowing your rights as a consumer.
Okay.
Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of debt that people have is old debt. And if it's old debt, 9 times out of 10, it's already been sold to a collection agency.
Talk your talk.
Yeah,
that's why you.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
So if your debt has been sold to a collection agency, that's no longer your debt. You was never in contract with that collection agency. So I know we jumping around. So I'm gonna go back to bankruptcy, then I'm gonna come back to the collection part.
Okay.
So with a chapter 13, that's nothing but a consolidation. So with a consolidation, all the attorneys are doing is gathering all your debt, and you're going to be paying one monthly lump sum probably for the next 4 to 6 years. But keep in mind that first 2,000 to 5,000 that you paying is going towards your attorney fees. None of that is going towards your creditors. I won't recommend a chapter 13. If you must have to do a bankruptcy, you might as well wipe your debt off and do a chapter 7 where you're not paying any creditors back. But what your attorneys don't tell you is, although you filed a chapter 7, the only thing that you did was not having to pay your financial institutions. Not having to pay your creditors back, which means that everything that you filed in your bankruptcy is going to be on your credit with a status of bankruptcy or discharge with a 0 balance. That public derogatory record of a chapter with a bankruptcy and all of those items that you filed in your bankruptcy, you still going to need me to get that deleted off.
So you're going to keep a job. I like that.
You still going to need me to get it deleted off. And that's what a lot of bankruptcy attorneys don't tell their clients. That information still need to be deleted off. Because it's still going to hinder your credit score from increasing. Yes, you can reestablish your credit after your bankruptcy is discharged, but you still always going to be at a plateau because you need all those negative items deleted off.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, well, the people that I know that file it, they don't really be concerned about it still reporting negative. They just trying to not be able to pay those things back. So they need to understand that, like, look, it's still going to be there. Don't think you're getting ready to purchase a car. Don't think you're getting ready to purchase a house. Those items are still going to be there.
But you know what? They can still purchase those things, but that interest rate is still going to be 20% or higher.
Too high. And I don't. That's the person. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think
it's not. It's not.
Well, it depends. It depends. I'm gonna tell you from a person from experience. I had to do it over. It was over 10 years ago in 2009. It was during the housing
crisis.
Where I had
2008.
Yeah, 2008. I had tons of property at the time, and I owed money because of inflation hit, people losing their job. I wasn't getting
market crashed,
so everything crashed on me. So I had to do it at that time because shit, I was hundreds of thousands in the hole, probably close to $1 million at that time. So when I got into it, I was in a position where I had to do it. Matter of fact, what was funny about it is, as you just spoke on when you said that when your debt goes to a credit to
collection agency,
one of the properties came to me and was like, hey, you give me 20,000, your debt clear or whatever. I said, nah, I got 12. So I went and found $12,000 and gave him that so I can keep the property. So, but the rest of the properties I end up writing off on the Chapter 7. And like you said, in agreements with you, that still shows up on your report. But the thing about it is, some of it is with age. It lessens the blow, and I had to. And really, that's enough. Even though I knew a little bit about credit, but that's what really forced me into really understanding how credit breaks down. And I had to really fix my credit. And first I went through like you're an expert, and I learned from that expert for about 6 months. And then once I took the tools I learned from him, I finished the job on my own and finished it off and was able to get those things off of the credit. But still, at the same time, it still shows up on your report. So it's like right now, I can't with Chase. Chase is probably one of the toughest places when it comes to credit. If you fuck up with them, they pretty much they like fuck you for life.
Ain't no bouncing back from Chase. You got to treat them good. But that's what she. But you know what? I have smaller banks and credit.
I bounce back from Chase.
Right now with Chase, I want to say they more friendly with the minority community now. Because one of a business partner of mine, he's a young activist in the Chicagoland area, Mr. Jamal Green. He stepped on their toes. So I want to say they're a little more friendlier with the minority community.
It seems, but what's funny about it, when I was dealing with them, it's like, man, every time that I try to, get back with them or whatever, even I try to even sneak in, because my wife, she had bank accounts with Chase. I try to sneak in and get an account with her, a business account, and they canceled it. I'm like,
really? Yeah. So they wouldn't. That's interesting. So they wouldn't accept your money to open an account.
You know what, Chase? Wow. Chase is they like that because
that's interesting. I've never heard that.
Yeah, they like that because I tried to, when I have a staffing agency, and I opened up a business account with Chase. I want to say I was probably in less than a year when I opened up my business. And when my vendors, when they start seeing the electronic funds coming in back to back the way that they was coming in, they closed my account. They ended the relationship.
Yeah.
They ended the relationship.
Oh.
And I was baffled because I'm like, okay, you seeing electronic funds coming in from Ford Motors, because that's one of my vendors. I'm like, you seeing electronic funds coming in from reputable of companies, automotive industry companies. And you close my account because you scared of, this is fraudulent activity. I'm like but I was like, okay, no problem. So they closed my account and they cut me a check. They thought they was going to make me wait 30 days. No, you closed my account, cut me a check 2 days.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow,
And
that is so
they
interesting.
did that. Yeah, chase something else.
And I've been with them for years. I can't even count how many years I've with them. I use a lot of their products. I've never had a real bad experience with Chase.
Yeah.
That is so, but it's all individual. It's about profiles and things like that. We're talking about like how these relationships are. Like I didn't know that. That was interesting to hear.
Yeah, Chase something else. So that's what made me venture off into credit unions. I'm like, you know what? Credit unions are more so friendlier when it comes to minorities. Not only that, they friendlier when it comes to small businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to LaRon Manning who tuned in. He said Citibank is like that too.
I've heard. Now I've heard Citibank is the worst. Like they are not friendly to us.
Well, Citibank been okay with me because they.
Oh, you got an 850. That's what that is.
No, you know what? My credit back up there. What's funny about it is at the time when I asked for a credit card, one of my scores is above 8, and I'm like, damn, Chase, you gonna do me like that for a credit card?
So interesting.
So
because Chase is something else.
But it's something that you said, Wileena, that was interesting. I want to venture back into race.
You say what now?
Race involving credit. Are there some factors that race affect credit?
Yes, there is.
What factors are there?
Not you know what? Not only race, but your zip code as well.
Zip code.
Wow. Yeah.
Your zip code as well. Yeah, your zip code as well. They feel as though if you enter zip code 60473, you got money. But if you enter zip code 60649, you don't have no money.
Wow.
I used to live at a 60649.
I did too. I did too.
I used to live at a 60649. Yeah,
I did too. So they do go base, and unfortunately, one of the biggest financial institution that does that is American Express.
That's they denied me and I couldn't believe it. Like, that's why.
Yeah, because of your zip code. I got an American Express, and I had I ain't gonna say a shady zip code. I was a 60620. So,
what 606 is what? 20 where?
That's Auburn Gresham.
Okay.
That's Auburn Gresham. Yeah. Okay. I do believe it is. I do believe that it did happen to you because of race, Mike, but it's all about profile too. Like I said, I was in a 60620 and it was like,
well, I was 60620 as well. So that's why I couldn't believe it, because everybody else was like dishing them out.
They're not dishing them out.
It plays a factor. Because they look at the surrounding area. A lot of times what we have to realize is that we are easy accessible. So I could put your address on Google and I can see what your surrounding area is. And that's the times we in right now.
Damn. Now you making all the sense in the world now.
So what do you?
Yeah, that's the times we in now.
What do you do to get around that? Just for strategy wise, I'm wondering.
Oh, she got an answer. It sounds like something we got to pay for, guys. It sounds like this ain't part of the free session. This something we got to pay for.
ways one okay, one way around that is get your PO box. Get your PO box.
Smart.
Dropping the gems, Miss Joseph. Dropping the gems.
Get your PO box. Go into an area and get you a PO box.
I love that. So I want to go back to bankruptcy real quick. So normally, how long does it take somebody to get out of bankruptcy? Because I've heard people taking 5 to 7 years, or
that's a myth. That's a myth. That's a myth. When I filed my bankruptcy, it was deleted off my credit within less than 5 years. Okay. So they tell you with a chapter 13 that it's going to take 7 years. They tell you, with a chapter 7 that it's going to take 10 years, but it all that is a myth. It don't take that long.
So do you need these bankruptcy attorneys when you file in bankruptcy? Is that a good way to go? Because I see all these bankruptcy attorney commercials.
I mean, if you know how to do it, if you know how to do it yourself, by all means. If you feel that you're knowledgeable enough to do it yourself, and to stand in front of a judge and represent yourself, then by all means, go ahead. But if you're not knowledgeable in that area, I wouldn't recommend you to try to do it yourself.
Or that's just like you said, you ain't going to change your own. You can change your own oil if you want to,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like that's what we pay people to do. Let me ask you this. Is there such thing as too much credit? Like you get too much credit on your report. Is that a thing?
No such. You know what? No such thing, because a lot of financial institutions, when you reach 700, between 700 and 750, you become at a plateau. It gets hard for you to get to that 800. Yeah, and a lot of financial institutions want to see that you are able to juggle multiple accounts, open good standards accounts.
So like if you're not mixed credit, like can you talk about mixed credit, please?
Exactly. So if you're not financially positioned to have all these accounts open, I don't recommend you to do so. But if you financially in position to have multiple accounts open, and you're able to maintain a 10% utilization or 15% utilization, by all means, do it, because that's what they want to see. They want to see that you are responsible enough to juggle multiple accounts, so you could go ahead and reach that 800 club. Is it easy? It's not easy at all. I just reached the 800 club last year.
And you've been trying.
We got another comment real quick. LaRon Manny said that I'm only 22. The highest my credit has been is a 720. So that speaks to what you just talked about.
So how can he get past that? How can he get past that?
I don't even. It all depends on what he currently have juggling. What lines of credit do he currently have? Is he paying his bills on time? 720. Don't get me wrong. That's a good credit score for a 22-year-old. It really is. Is he staying below his utilization? So it's a lot of unanswered questions in regards to what it is that he needs to do. And at 720, he probably don't have a lot of open lines of credit.
At what point? Go ahead, Ray.
Well, here's one thing that I learned, because I don't think many people know that you can actually call these people in order to make your 10% more. You can actually call them and say, "Hey, can you up my credit line?"
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Oh, absolutely. I do it all the
time. And I recommend, even if you just starting out with a credit card, probably with it again, it all depends on the financial institution. I know with Navy Federal, I'm just going. And no, I am not an affiliate with. I don't get paid. They don't pay me, so I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't get paid.
They need to.
But once you open up a credit card with Navy Federal, that 91st day you would get an increase. Every financial institution is not like that. True enough, like Ken said, you can call them and ask for an increase. But it's not guaranteed that you're going to get that you're going to get an increase. We could use what's going on in the economy now as a prime example. A lot of these creditors was doing a lot of decreasing with people's lines of credit because they felt as though that people weren't going to be able to maintain their bills. A lot of these creditors felt as though they was going to fall behind. So they was doing a lot of decreasing of the lines of credit, and they was doing a lot of closing people accounts out. Depending on how old it was, they was closing them out. But they didn't report it to the credit bureaus as negative. They just ended the relationship.
And this is due to the pandemic. Is that what you're speaking about?
That was due to the pandemic. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
But a lot of people also know, when you have these major credit cards, get some insurance on them.
Oh yeah.
You could get insurance on them, on these credit cards. That way, if you come in a financial bind, your insurance company will take over your monthly payments.
How do you do that? Because I've heard that, but I don't know how to do that.
With your credit card company. Your credit card company have insurance where you can get insured. It's probably going to cost you an additional $5 a month. Yeah,
it's on that paper with all that little bitty writing that you. It's in there.
That's another thing that we don't do. We don't read it.
You have to read it. It's there. They offer you all kind of disability insurance if you laid off work. All kinds of stuff. You have to read and see what your company will offer, whatever credit card you have.
They'll pay your credit card bill up to a year.
Yep.
I'm gonna do that on my business cards.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read another comment before my next question. So LaRon said that he has 7 credit cards with 1 installment, which is his auto loan. So that's at
720. Yeah, that's
at 720. So LaRon, if you have 7 credit cards and your auto loan, contact each of your financial institutions and see what day they report it to the credit bureaus. If your payments is due on the 15th, but they report your payments on the 1st, you want to make sure that your payments on a monthly basis is paid on or before the 1st. Also, try to stay within 30% of your utilization. Not only that, don't pay the bare minimum, but add an additional probably $10 to $20 to each payment.
My question is, when would you say is the best time to see a credit expert, regardless of how bad or how good your credit is? Like, what would be the best time to come see you?
When I would say the best time to come see me is not when it's too late, but when you see that your credit, if you're not unsure why you at a standstill with your credit score.
Okay.
If you need someone to sit down with you and do a full detail analysis so you can have a better understanding on how to read a credit report. A lot of us don't know how to read a credit report. So that's one of the tools that you want to master. Even if you don't want to hire an expert, you want to master how to read your credit reports, all 3 of them. You want to get in the habit of checking. I check my credit every day. Every day. I check it every single day. I have Experian downloaded on my phone. I'm partnered with Smart Credit with all my clients, and I check my credit every single day because you never know, you never know when something is going to creep up on you.
Oh, every day.
Yeah.
You never know when something is going to be added to your credit report and it's not you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want to stay ahead of the game when it comes to your credit.
That's my
And
next
so
question.
monitor, like I say, I monitor mine daily. You can monitor yours weekly. You can monitor every 30 days. It's just up to you and where you are mindset wise with your credit.
And you say Smart Credit is one of the better apps to use for credit check.
Smart, you could use. No, I said Smart Credit is one of them is one of the companies I use for my clients.
I use one called My FICO.
My FICO is excellent.
I check it every day. Yeah, and I pay a monthly fee, but it's worth it because I go every day.
My FICO is good because my FICO is good, and because my FICO provides you with your FICO score versus your Advantage score, and a lot of financial institutions they go based off your FICO score versus your Advantage score.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's
Credit Karma played me before. Like,
well, I'm sorry. No, I'm gonna just say it. Don't ever use Credit Karma. It's not accurate and it's a waste of your time. If you really care about your this is my opinion. You know, if you really care about your finances, like I said, my FICO, I've been using that for years.
I wouldn't say
even if
I'm sorry. I see you got your head wrapped, and
you better see this queen, and you hear her talking. No, but seriously, even every time I pay my bill, it just tells me, hey, your personal finances have been decreased by $697. So it just tells you, and it gives you everything about simulation, like, hey, what if I pay my bills on time? What if I pay this amount on time? How would it affect my credit score? And it just gives you constant updates. So that's been working for me for the past 3 years. So I just recommend it for anybody that want to keep a hold of it and wanted to monitor anything about the black web. Also, like if anybody's selling your information, that's on there because you'll look up, like she said, and identity theft is real. And it'll tell you somebody's using your email, somebody's using your phone number, your address, or your social security number. It's all in that one app, and it's $40. Like, you know what you would spend $40 on. Like, invest that in. Don't laugh.
Hey, so what you spending $40 on?
You know what I'm spending $40 on. But no, seriously, you can invest that $40 in monitoring your credit and bettering yourself and making sure that's all. Okay.
That was my next question. How do you avoid credit fraud?
By protecting your identity. I'm partnered with Allstate. So Allstate protects my clients' identity during the process of them getting their credit repaired. So I used to be partnered with Privacy Armor, but now I'm contracted with Allstate. So you want to find a reputable company that does identity theft protection.
Okay. I love it. You just gave us a lot of
you so happy get some gems. Like, we got some gems tonight. I'm very excited that you were here, Miss Joseph. Like, that was awesome.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love some gems.
I see you guys are getting winded. Let's break down some of this stuff that's going down with this this money that the government giving out. I'm pretty sure you knowledgeable about that. Could you give us a little information on it?
You know what, Ken? You can you expound on the question that?
Let's say it like this. Business wise, you have your business set up, and you want to get one of these. Was it PPP loan? That's what I think it is called. How is that? What is that process? Do you know anything about that process?
I'm sorry, I don't even know what that is. Can you explain what that is?
It's the protection plan. Basically a payroll protection plan. So it's something that the government put in place, the federal government put in place for mainly small business to thrive, to continue to thrive during this pandemic. And Ken, my friend.
I've been seeing some people taking advantage of that. They get this money.
Just like Ken, my friend.
I've seen some people taking advantage of that. They get that money and going on shopping sprees and stuff.
Really?
But you know what? All jokes aside, I want to say that, you know, during this pandemic, a lot of individuals, minorities, you know, even though some people may have taken advantage of it, you have a lot of people that it woke them up to want to become entrepreneurs.
I agree.
And that was the point of the PPP, to continue to make them thrive. I'm partnered with I have a partnership with Cross River Bank. And that's who I process a lot of my applications with my clients through Cross River Bank. You have to, what exactly is it that you trying to know, Mr. Ken?
I'm just curious.
Get to the meat and potatoes.
From a business standpoint, what are the best steps to go about, you know, getting those into those loans and stuff like that?
Filling out the application. Okay, so on a real note, so it all depends on the lender that you go through, because a lot of lenders have different requirements. But one of the main standardized requirements are for you to have been established before February the 15th, 2020. Some of the documentations that they are requesting is for you to have your business bank account for February of 20. They want you to have your Schedule C and a copy of your ID. So that's the basic. If you're a first time applier, that's the basics that they want you to have.
Okay.
If this is your second time applying and receiving the funds or trying to get the funds, it's a little bit more detail, because now they want to show that you had for 2020, they want a 2020 Schedule C, but they also want to see that you had a 20% loss within the year 2020. So how they would determine that is they're going to ask for one of the 1 quarter bank statement from 2019, but that same quarter bank statement for 2020. And they do the comparison that way.
Okay.
So any additional questions, we could do we could set up a consultation.
Yeah, let's set one up. Definitely.
And now, for people who want to do consultations, how do they get in tune with you? Where can they reach out to you at to reach out to Credit Expert?
I'm on all social media platforms. Facebook is Wileena Joseph, Wileena Joseph, Joseph. Instagram is where I do a lot of my marketing, and that's Wileena W Joseph. And you can also reach me at 773-507-4989. as well as my website is my first and last name, WileenaJoseph.com.
I was gonna say, you just put your phone number out there like that, Dave. You gonna get a lot.
You know
of
what?
too.
That phone. Huh?
I said,
You
why
know
not?
what? I mean, Google me. You go find that number. So I'm used to it now. I'm used to it. I'm okay with that.
Nah, I'm just kidding. I got you. But we thank you for being a part of the show. It was very informative and very educational.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. We'll have you back real soon too, because it's
never ending.
Never ending.
Never ending.
Yeah.
You're always gonna need credit. So
you definitely will always need
credit.
You definitely going to always need credit. What a lot of people need to realize, as of today, there's over 80 million people nationwide that have a less than perfect credit score. And because of what's going on in society, that number is increasing on a daily basis.
Wow. And since we need credit every day, one of y'all let me borrow $5. No.
Got you. Zelle or Cash App.
Thank y'all again for tuning in. I'm DJ MH to the Joy, Ken Ray. We all in the building. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and comment to 40ish Now What podcast on YouTube. Check us out because we everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You name it, we there. We got you. This is 40ish Now What. We out.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.